What's going on, guys? I am Johnny Wolf, and welcome to another episode of Nerdy Urges. With me today, Mr. Spanish J.
Hello, hello.
This is what, our third episode? So yeah. By now he's like my semi-permanent co-host, I guess.
Hello. I'm the Thursday special.
But yeah, we record. So far, for the past 3 weeks, we've been recording every Thursday, and it's been going smooth so well. And it really does suck what happened with the attempt to record with Alchemist Corp. I don't know if you saw that video, but what happened was I was like removing old footage from my folders on my PC, and I accidentally deleted the source footage.
Oh no!
Okay, there you go.
Sorry. That sucks.
Yeah, I know, but like I said, it's my fault. So I just got to do what I can to avoid struggles like that. But yeah, on to this week's episode. We are going to be discussing the hit Amazon original show Invincible. And for those of you wondering why we're wearing UA hoodies, the answer is simple: we want to.
Oh yes, we want to.
Yeah. But that and one other reason, because the internet has been basically raving over the idea that people are comparing Invincible to My Hero Academia. But it's actually a pretty solid comparison when you get down to it.
I guess. I mean, you know what? I'd actually like to hear your take on it. Like, what do you feel makes it similar? And I'll give you, I want to hear what you say, and then I'll either piggyback up on it or jump off of it because.
All right, I mean that seems legit, but yeah, like this is what I have in mind as far as the comparison. And let me ask you something first. Do you follow Amanda Castrillo? Do you remember her?
I do.
Yeah,
I follow Amanda.
Yeah,
she's awesome.
Yeah, she is awesome, and she made a video about Invincible, and she talked about how much Mark from Invincible reminds her of Deku from My Hero Academia. And it's actually really solid when she brings up her details, which I heavily agree with. She says that both are protagonists that started out powerless, and, they eventually gain their powers, and obviously they gain their powers through different means. Because, Mark has genetics, and, Deku literally inherits his power from his idol, But that's the thing. They were both powerless. They wanted powers, so they could become heroes. And seeing the troubles they go through once they gain their powers, learning to control their powers, and the psychological struggles, the emotional turmoil, they both have that in common a lot.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, I can see that. I think I looked at it from the lens of like, does the whole story remind you of My Hero, or is it just the protagonist? Because I feel like
the story a little bit, because like I said, protagonist gains his power, learns to control his power. He joins a bunch of other superpowered kids that were already born with their powers, and like I said, psychological. He goes through mentoring, but obviously, by episode 8, it takes an entirely different turn than My Hero.
I like the idea of that. I like the idea of hearing that it like Deku and Mark Midoriya and Mark are one and the same, because you're right, they were both powerless and everything like that. And I guess I didn't look at it from that perspective of the turmoil, because Deku thinks that just being a hero is like all that it is, and then Shigaraki pops out of nowhere and attacks them while they're testing, and he's like, "Oh crap! Like this is legit.
Do I want to do this anymore?" Like,
yeah. And I guess Mark has the same kind. It's like eye-opening for him, where he legitimately is getting his butt whooped. Because he doesn't know. He knows how to control his powers, but he doesn't know like this is what it's like to be a hero. Like,
yeah,
you have to go and you have to save and you have to protect.
And you have to prepare for the worst in any scenario. It's terrifying. And that's what I love about Invincible as well as My Hero Academia. They both tackle the psychological, the emotional, and the backlash of hero life. Because like us as humans in this material plane, we read comic books, we see the movies, we see the TV shows, and we think about the thrill and the glory of being a hero. But that was like, years ago. Now the media, they're talking about all the backlash and the turmoil that comes with hero life. And that's what I love. They're adding realism.
Yeah, like The Boys.
The Boys.
The Boys is another Amazon. I mean, we could do an episode just on that show alone.
We could. Oh my god.
That show is literally like, hey, we're the Justice League, but here's everything you don't know about what we do.
Like if the Justice League was, it's basically like The Boys is to Justice League as Watchmen is to, well, what are they called? The Defenders? Remember the Defenders?
Yes.
Watchmen to the Defenders.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess I can agree with that statement. Like, obviously Amanda knows her shit. Like, she knows what she's talking about, and she, she brings receipts. Like, she does her homework. Like, she's great at what she does. And I don't think I saw that video, so I wasn't like informed on any of that.
Yeah.
But I guess it is a really good comparison. You could even state that All Might would obviously be like, what's Mark's dad's name again?
Oh, you mean like a Omni-Man? Yeah. Omni-Man?
Yes, Omni-Man.
Well, I mean, his Earth. Well, no, his name was Nolan. I don't know if that was like his Viltrumite name, but
I don't know. But you could say that he is both One for All and All for One.
Yeah, that actually is a good way to put it. He's like the best. He's the hero in the sense of like mentoring Mark, and he's the villain in the sense of like his hidden purpose.
Mm-hmm.
It was a classic case of like conquest. Earn the love of them, or study your prey. It was more like studying your prey, because he did earn their love, but it barely meant anything to him. I
know,
way.
he called his wife a pet.
I know, but even then, that proves that he has some concept of attachment and love.
I think. You know what? I'm actually going to disagree with you.
Really?
I don't think that that's the reason why he has some concept of it. I think it's because of Mark. I don't think he gives a crap about any of them other than Mark. And the reason why is because he was so like, I'm waiting for you to get your powers. I'm waiting for you to get your powers. I'm waiting for you to get your powers. And he finally did. And then, he's like, okay, let me teach you how to use your powers. And then he's like, listen, buddy, I got to tell you something. I killed everybody. And then
now I'll teach you how to use your powers.
and he was like, let me put you on and let me tell you what this is all really about. And he did. And I don't think he did it in the way of like, I don't think he did it in the way of this is what it's going to be. I think he did it in the way of like, listen, I love you. Like, you're actually my kid, and I've grown to love you. And I think together, you and me, we can do awesome. And it reminds me so much of when Darth Vader says to Luke,
rule the galaxy as father and son.
We can rule the galaxy as father and son.
But here's the thing, and that's another thing. Like, throughout everything that Omni-Man does, he always just sees himself as the higher being, the higher power of his surroundings, and he's like the walking, talking God complex. But that makes sense given the way he was brought up on Viltrum, because he told Mark stories about how Viltrum was like this, perfect utopia of elite beings that go from planet to planet, basically like Green Lantern. They go from planet to planet, helping like civilizations out of the dark and bringing them to the light. I don't know that it was
so much helping.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely some tough love, to say the least. But yeah, that's what he told Mark, and that was kind of brilliant. It was like a good white lie to tell to your superpowered child, because he said, he says to his kid, I was brought up to help people. You can do the same once you get your powers. And then, he sees all the glory and fame and, respect that his dad earns from what he does. And he's like, I want that too. He's like, I am my father's son. I can get these powers. I want that too. And when he finally gets them, like, I gotta admit, his reaction to getting his powers, it wasn't really what I expected. But at the same time, it was reasonable. Because, he was...
You mean Nolan's reaction or Mark's reaction?
Mark's reaction. But yeah, a bit of both. But like Mark's reaction, the first one we see, when he threw that trash bag out into space, like not only was I laughing, but I didn't expect him to react so calmly to throwing a trash bag into space.
Into space.
He was like, it's about time. Like that,
I know.
Like that is not how an average person would react. But at the same time, it's like, he was expecting this. In his mind, he was probably expecting it at any moment, ready for the unexpected. So when you think of it like that, it makes sense. The way he reacted.
What you just said reminded me of. You ever seen the movie Sky High?
Oh yeah.
Where he like doesn't have powers. He's the only one there that doesn't have any powers, and he's like the son of the two like most famous superheroes.
Yeah, and then he just lifts up the lunch table with the guy on it, and he's like super strong, and then he just throws him through a fucking wall. Like
he had more of a shock factor than Mark did.
He really did.
And you're right. You're absolutely right. It was his whole life. He's like, my dad is Omni-Man. My dad is Omni-Man. So sooner or later, I'm gonna get my powers.
Yeah.
And he probably told him, he was like, you might get powers because you're a Viltrumite. I like the characters. First of all, I love the story.
Yeah.
Like I know that it's based on a comic, and I know that I haven't read anything.
I haven't either, but my main reason, and as well as a lot of my other friends who really love this show, the reason they haven't read the comic is because they've been told by comic readers that the pacing is a lot different than the show.
Okay.
Like there's different timestamps, different placement of events, which honestly, looking at it from a show watcher's standpoint, I fell in love with the show like almost immediately from episode 1, so I just don't want to take a chance of ruining it.
Yeah. I think what hooked me was that last scene of episode 1.
Yeah. And
I remember watching it, and I was like, all right, I mean, this is an okay show. Like, it's pretty good. I'll watch the next episode. I'm sure it'll... And then right after the end credits, I was like, oh, there's more. Okay, so I kept watching, and hey, Walmart Batman, why did you call us here? And then like Walmart Flash just pushes him out of the... I was like,
dude, the ending of episode 1, just the amount... Like, what in the Bobby McMortal Kombat fuck did I just witness? Like, like that, like we said in our first episode, Robert Kirkman, fuck him.
Yeah.
Just why? Make us fall in love with these characters. Guess what? Like, every beloved character that Robert Kirkman creates is immediately on a chopping block.
Done. He doesn't care. And they did the same thing. I was just like, oh, okay, so we're gonna get a little bit of backstory. Like, this is cool. Okay, this weird Flash person is like talking to his wife. Oh, okay, now he's got to go. All right. Oh, look, it's Walmart Batman. That's cool. All right. Oh, we got Wonder Woman. Oh, whoa, what's this weird? Oh, I'm assuming this is Martian Manhunter.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm like, what's gonna happen? Like, I was getting pretty hyped because like they were all being called there, and it was like, why did you call us here? And he's like, I didn't. And I was like, wait, what? Oh God, dude, blood everywhere.
I was praying like hell that Omni-Man was just being manipulated by some external force. Just please don't turn him into the bad guy, only to be shown episode 8 a few weeks later, and then just, oh my God.
Like, what? Like, it went from 0 to 1,000.
Dude, like, it completely broke through everything my brain could think of. Like,
I think they did a really good job. Like, the animation in the show.
The animation was
crisp. A lot of people. I remember reading this. So many people were like up in arms because they said that it was lazy. That so like if this is Mark, right?
Yeah.
And they just put him like this. They just made it look like he was like floating, but they didn't move, like they didn't animate anything else. And they were like, "That's lazy animation." I'm sorry. Did you not see the eyeball come out of the socket and when the head exploded? Like that is not lazy animation.
The animation for the ending of episode 1 was probably the majority of their budget. That and the majority of episode 8. Like, like, oh my god. Like, I can't get over the brutality of the ending of episode 1.
It was a lot, but like I just think they did a really, really good job.
Yeah. And
go ahead.
Oh, and when the Martians attacked the city,
yeah,
like that was
wait. The Martians when they were on Mars, or that weird like came through the teleporter.
Yeah, they came through like the teleporter, and
yeah,
they were like aging
they
rapidly.
Martians, were they?
They were Martians.
Are you sure? Because didn't they go to Mars?
Yeah, well, I mean, they went to Mars, but the Martians came to the planet through that teleporter first. Those aliens, they were Martians.
Oh, okay. I had no idea.
But
goes to show how much attention I was paying.
Yeah, there are two different types of Martians. There's the Martians that are where Martian Man is, the flimsy things that look like Groot. But
yeah,
and then there's this, and also we're mentioning Amanda again. She called them the Toy Story aliens because they kind of look like that.
Oh yeah, they do kind of look like the Toy Story aliens.
But yeah,
we should have had her on this.
Yeah, we should. But yeah, she's at work. But yeah, retail. Am I right? Just
oh god, I hated working at retail.
Yeah.
But the characters in that show are fantastic. I think the characters, because I kept thinking to myself after the first episode, okay, the show's called Invincible. We see that Omni-Man effed everybody up. Wonderful. What are they going to do with this? And then like they introduce, who was it? Rex and Robot and
Adam Eve.
Yeah, Adam Eve. And they did a really good job because like you actually like grow to like them.
You really do. Like
except for Rex.
Well, yeah, Rex is an asshole at first, but he eventually learns the errors of his ways after that brutal threesome with that cloning girl, whatever her name was. What was her name?
I don't remember. Hold on, let me look it up.
Okay. But I still can't believe that he was dumb enough to do that. Like, he knew he was dating a girl, and that he knew he was dating Adam Eve. Adam Eve can fly, she can rearrange atoms and cells at will. And you think it's a good idea to piss her off like that?
Yeah, not a smart move, buddy.
No, in no way is that an intelligent move.
The Guardians of the Globe, that's who they were. Okay.
Yeah.
Wasn't her name like Duplicate or something like that?
Yeah,
her name was Kate. It was
Duplicate, and
Duplicate.
Yeah, he cheated on her with that, and that was a line in the show. He cheated on me with Duplicate, all three of her, and I'm like, oh. Damn. And like, if you don't know the situation and you hear that sentence for the first time, like that is brutal to think about.
I like all of the characters though. Adam Eve is fantastic. I think she is, like, I think they could do a lot more with her character, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm sure that they will. Rex is just Rex.
Yeah.
He's an asshole.
I mean, what do you expect from a dude named Rex, though?
That's true. That's true.
What was even his hero name? Like,
his name was Rexplode.
Oh God!
like, could you be any more douchey?
Like, and we thought Great Explosion Murder God Dynamite was petty. Like,
what's your name? Oh, Rexplode.
Shut up, you damn nerd! Like,
I think Robot was pretty cool.
Robot had me going for so long because he was like stealing blood from Rex.
Yes,
and then
yes.
and then I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck is happening here? And then
I thought he was the villain.
Yeah, and then he goes to the Marauder twins, and by the way,
Blue Thanos. It's Blue Thanos, and not the Marauder twins. It's Blue Thanos.
Why didn't I think of that? Oh
That's literally the first thing I thought of. I was like, okay, so I was like, oh, the Guardians of the Globe. Okay, so AKA the Justice League. Cool. And then I was like, oh, look at this guy. This is Blue Thanos. Because like they were shooting him, and I was like, oh, okay, he sounds kind of like Lobo from the DC universe.
Oh yeah, because he was voiced by the same dude, Kevin Michael Richardson. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. So yeah, I was like, he sounds very much like Lobo, and I was like, well, I guarantee he's gonna be bulletproof, and sure enough, he was. And then I was like, but he's got like that Thanos. I was like, he's Blue Thanos. He's literally just Blue Thanos.
He really does have that Thanos vibe, like where he just pretty much destroys everything in his path. Nobody can stop him except for like equally powerful enemies, and there's always something greater at work with those two. And the fact that he could just clone himself once the other is downed, just wow.
Yeah, like that's pretty amazing.
That's actually an amazing character or characters, because he always has a fallback no matter what. And the fact that Robot, and with Robot's revelation with his real body, that was actually horrifying, and that was definitely a classic case of the ends justify the means.
Yep.
As soon as I thought he was the villain for being in league with those two Blue Thanoses, and I thought something terrible was going to happen, like he was bent on world domination, like Ultron and Vision type deal.
Yep.
That was one of the first things that popped in my mind, like he had to build himself a new body. And then only to find out he just wanted to have a living body.
He wanted to be human.
Yeah. And then there was the Monster Girl thing, which
yeah.
I didn't know how to feel about that, to be honest.
Me either. I still don't know how to feel about that, because it's like
they're both adults with bodies of children.
Yeah, she was like 24, but every time she turns into a Monster Girl, she
ages backwards.
Yeah, and like it's very wholesome and like sincere, and you're like, okay, like I understand why you did it. Like you like her and you care for her and things like that, and you probably nobody understands the complexities of having something happen to your body more than Robot did. Yeah. Especially because his body was all like raw.
And it was like a romance based on empathy, sympathy, whichever one it is. It was like a resonance romance type deal. They were both resonating on the same level as far as like their own personal struggles with their powers. Although to be fair, another thing I want to know, because like I said, I haven't read any of the source material, is if Robot used Rex's DNA, does that mean he also inherited his powers? Because the superpowers, if I'm not wrong, are genetic.
True.
If I'm not wrong,
true.
Yeah, because I think superpowers are genetic in that universe. I mean, after all, that's how Mark got his.
Yeah. And okay, so that's all of them, right? Monster Girl. Oh, Shrinking Ray.
Shrinking Ray, and who was the
Black Samson?
Yeah, that's another thing. Like Black Samson, like of all the hero names to come up with.
Yeah, because but so he got his powers back, right?
Yeah,
and how did he get his powers back? I forget.
I think it had something to do with the aliens. I don't really remember all that much about it, but I think it has something to do with the aliens and robots. Robots' altercation of their weapons.
Yeah, something like that. It was something along those lines.
I have to rewatch that now, but I'm not too sure. Like for those of you guys, like if you're seeing this, let us know in the comments, please. But
yes.
And
see, let's should we talk about, first of all, what the hell was the name of the stupid demon thing?
Oh, you mean the
Dark Blood.
Damon Darkblood. Yeah. And by the way, he is voiced, not a lot of people know this, he's voiced by the same guy who plays Mr. Krabs.
Clancy Brown.
Yep.
Oh, I called him. I called him Walmart Hellboy, but he was on it. He knew it all, like the whole time, instantly. Freaking Dick Tracy over here, and then Cecil, which by the way, Cecil's pretty cool.
Yes, he is.
I think Cecil's awesome.
I gotta give praise to Mr. Walton Goggins for his role as Cecil. And if you don't know who that is, he played remember Ant-Man and the Wasp, the dude who kept trying to steal the shrinking lab?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the guy.
You mean Morpheus?
No, not him.
The guy who kept Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Okay, I know who
the
you're
black
talking about.
market guy. The black market guy. But,
Yeah.
And he was also who else was he that you might know him from?
He was in The Shield. He was in Justified.
Oh yeah, he wasn't Justified, and he's also on this NBC show called The Unicorn. But other than that, like not a lot of people know him from a lot of stuff. But yeah, he's a really good actor, especially for his role in Cecil. Like that was amazing. The way
That was
he
a great
did it.
role.
I didn't expect him to bring that much energy to that role after everything I've seen him in, but just wow.
He did great. I liked his character. Like they did a good job of making you hate his character at first, you know?
Yeah, like at first he just seemed like another annoying government agent, like kind of like how Nick Fury was at first in the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
But like we all eventually, just like how we all eventually grew to love Nick Fury, we eventually saw Cecil's.
What he was trying to do. He was trying to do the best that he can.
He was literally just doing his job the best way he knew how, and he always had the best of intentions through the best of means.
All right, we've talked about Adam and Eve. Can we talk about how they should have gotten together?
Yeah,
which they probably will.
I would have loved to see Mark and Eve together. And I'm not gonna lie, I like Amber. I like Amber as a supporting character.
Very much so.
I feel like she's by far one of Mark's greatest supporters in that entire show.
Not at first.
Not at first, but like she grew to love him.
But you know what I really like about her character, and it's interesting that you said that he's one of his best supports. Is you're right, but he effed her over so many times.
He really did. And
all she wanted was, like, she knew who he was. It's not that difficult to figure out. But like
he pulled an Aladdin and basically just did not expect to figure out.
That is a perfect comparison.
Like he pulled an Aladdin and hoped to God that she would not figure it out. But the stupid thing is, and another thing is, a lot of young superheroes in comic book, anime, cartoons, they always do this. They always expect their best friend, significant other, their crush to not figure it out, even though they know they're like smart enough to figure it out.
You know who you are.
Like even his best friend figured it out at one point.
Yeah, like come on. And the reason why the reason why I like her is I think she's a great character. I think she does really, really good job of, like you said, supporting him. But he's just like the reason why I want him with
Eve.
Adam Eve is because like they understand that lifestyle.
Yeah, like if anything, it's better to be with somebody who you can comfortably like be in a situation with rather than somebody you have to constantly hide from.
Yep. Like that episode where they went to the college.
Yeah.
Remember? And he like dipped out, but it was to become invincible, and then she was like, "Mark, where were you?" And like, how do you explain? But right there, you should be like, "Listen, like, you're my girlfriend. I trust you." Like, and that's all she wanted. That's all she wanted.
And another thing, like, wait, do you follow Straw Hat Goofy on TikTok?
Of course I do. Who doesn't follow Straw Hat Goofy?
If you don't, you're a fool.
Yes.
End of story.
How is that man not verified? First of all,
what's going on TikTok?
I don't know.
But yeah.
Anyway,
he pointed out this detail in Invincible during that fight scene at the college campus. Like, she saw that the cyborg was wait, what's the name of Mark's friend, his best friend? Uh,
Steve? No, not Steve. Hold on.
or like his
I don't know.
like for those of you that need further clarification watching this, he's like his gay best friend, and like he saw that the cyborg had his friend in a chokehold, and then Amber was like just staring on in worry, and then she turned to Mark right there. She knew that Mark was the only one that could do anything. She knew for at that point it was confirmed that she knew for quite some time.
But like all he wanted. Oh, William. That was his name.
William. But yeah, she saw that William was being held in a chokehold by that cyborg, and she turned, looked for Mark because she knew Mark was the only one that could do anything. And Mark already had, jumped to the Call of Duty, but the fact that he still tried to cover it up when all was said and done.
Like, come on, man. Like, what are you doing?
Like, don't do that, man. Just like if she
They're giving us a bad rap.
you're making all other superheroes look super bad right now. And the fact that well, actually, to be fair, Mark didn't know this already, but Amber already knew about Adam Eve. And that was like a secret between those two for a while.
Oh.
Yeah. If I'm not wrong, that is.
I don't know. Oh, yeah, no. Didn't she figured it out afterwards?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, she figured it out later on.
Yeah.
Because William figured it out as well.
Yeah.
But she is a great character, and the only reason that like I don't want her to be with Mark is because like she is immortal and she's gonna get hurt and something's gonna happen to her, and
yeah,
it's for the same reason that superheroes have alter egos.
Yes, the secret identity, keep those closest, like the Batman principle, the mask to protect those closest to you.
Yep. I don't know. I think I love her. I think she's a great character. I love the fact that she just doesn't give. She's one of those characters that just doesn't give a shit. She's like, I'm gonna tell you how it is, and I love it. And I love her just everything. But at the end of the day, Mark just doesn't deserve someone as awesome as her.
He really does not.
He really does not.
You should have just gone. You should have just gone with Eve, bro.
Or let Amber be with someone better.
Let her be with a normal human.
You know what? I don't know what next season is going to hold, nor will I read the comic books because, much like you, I don't want to ruin it for myself.
Yeah.
Manga is different because that I can't wait for.
All right. Okay, but yeah, back to what we were talking about, characters. Let's talk about Mark's development as a hero.
Let's.
By far, one of the most brutal we've seen in just about any series. His first fight against those aliens, that we were talking about earlier, the Martians and the teleporter, and all that blood and stuff that was covering him, and all the people that were getting severed. Just wow, it was so.
I think that
it was such a realistic reaction.
It was very. You know what? Dare I say that it was very human.
It was.
Because if he were a Viltrumite, that would be nothing to him. He would just be like, whatever, I don't really care. I've seen this all my life.
That's the stuff that we need to see from Mark. That's what separates him from his dad. Which has all the more value in episode 8. During their big battle.
He got his powers.
Why am I calling that a battle? That wasn't even.
That was not. That was just a straight beat down. That was a
game of softball with a body. That was it.
That wasn't even. That was I got a call from your teacher and they told me you were acting a fool in school and now I'm gonna beat the crap out of you. Don't make me look stupid. That's literally what it was.
Corporal punishment.
Yeah. No, that's what it was. It was. Hey, you opened the fridge of someone else's house. Now I'm gonna kick your ass at home.
And all the memes that have been made from it. What's 17 more years? Just I could always make another kid.
Yeah, no, it's so he starts off super stoked that he's got powers, right? Learning how to fly, learning how to do all these things, and you're happy for him. You're like, wow, this is really cool. I think the development just in general, per episode, was crazy. The first episode, he gets his powers, he's super happy. The second one, doesn't he meet Yeah, that takes place right after Omni-Man, spoiler, kills the Guardians of the Galaxy, the Guardians of the Globe.
But yeah, and I love the next episode, how he kind of goes through like his like power trip phase where he's like, he's like acting the boss of everything. Mm-hmm. Like when he went up against that bully, he said, "Keep hitting me, keep hitting me, keep hitting me," and he's like, "Freak." And then when he like told off his mom, like, "Make me," I'm like, even I flinched.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if your mom doesn't have any superpowers or not, and you don't do that. You don't do
that. And then like he gets this sense of like entitlement. Like I'm Omni-Man's son. I got powers. You're not going to be able to do anything.
But
right, and then,
but in the to a mind of a teenager, it kind of makes sense the way he acted the way he did, because he's been waiting his whole life for this moment, and then he finally has it, and everybody's like telling him to chill out, and I'm like, I'm not going to chill out. You know how long I've been waiting for this. I'm entitled to all the fun I could have right now before I slave away as a hero.
Yeah,
and like
and then the one where he goes to Mars.
Yeah,
that was an interesting episode, because once again he had that sense of entitlement where he was like, this is going to be easy, and he like falls asleep, and then he totally screws up, right? And then like he's just like, oh crap, I screwed up.
Just no. Like he had to grow up so quick in such a short span of time.
You can see the wheels turning in his head, kind of like, okay, I fucked up. I got to make this right.
Yeah.
And then I think aside from obviously episode 8, the biggest development for him was where he helped. Who's the rock guy? I forget the rock guy's name.
The rock guy?
Yeah, like he turned into stone.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Titan.
Yes.
Yeah, he helped that guy, and then for him to just... It turned out to be a coup d'etat in disguise.
Yeah.
Like, and by the way, that was brilliantly put together, that whole sequence of events. Mm-hmm. Just a roller coaster of what the fuck. Especially that big fight in the office room against that big tiger dude.
Tiger lion thing.
He flayed his entire torso. And just when we thought Mike was literally invincible, like save for, getting the shit kicked out of him by the aliens, and like psychologically he's obviously not invincible, but then for him to get flayed by that tiger warrior guy,
that was intense.
That was horrifying to see. Like this character that, and once again, Robert Kirkman, fuck you. Just this character that we saw get builded. He got built up. He developed. He got psyched up, only to get immediately slammed down like the fly that he is.
And it's crazy though, because like in that same episode, he was like, enough or something. Like he like had rage in him, and then he still got his ass kicked.
Like just when we thought he would get that, like Winston from Overwatch, a primal rage power up, just no, he got swatted down so fast.
But I think that was a perfect. That was the perfect thing to happen to him, to be honest, because it just goes to show you are not the best. It goes to show your inexperience. It's like anything.
You bit off more than you could chew.
Literally.
And someone took a bite out of you. Just
he has to practice. He has to be practiced to be good, and he just thought, have Veltramite. I am going to withstand anything. But he did not at all.
No.
And then when he fought his dad, I think that was the climax of his, obviously being the last episode of the season, but it was the climax of his character development, because he realized, I'm a superhero. I have to save people.
But I'm also human.
Yeah, this is my dad, and I love him, but maybe I can't beat him, but I'm going to try to stop him. And if I can't, then whatever. And I think that moment where Nolan flew away after he said, I'll have you, Dad. I'll still have you. That moment.
That was powerful.
It was extremely powerful, because he's a Veltramite who doesn't give a shit about anybody.
Like,
You know?
and one of the things about Viltrumites, the way they bring up their most elite, like obviously they have a battle royale to see
Yeah.
like this amount of their strongest.
It's like the Purge every year.
It basically is, yeah. And like they basically are meant to not comprehend attachment.
Yeah.
And if they do learn attachment, then like they're just like, so whatever, just make sure that you fulfill your purpose as a Viltrumite, fulfill your responsibilities. And that's what Omni-Man Nolan was about for the most part, just fulfilling his responsibilities to his people. And that's one of the things that Alan the Alien, who by the way is one of my favorite characters.
I love Alan the Alien, not just because he's hysterical, but also because he's voiced by Seth Rogen.
Yeah, Seth Rogen, and the fact that he was one of the script writers for that show with Evan Goldberg is just absolutely amazing.
Oh, no question.
And and I didn't think he would be that serious of a character like Alan the Alien, because as soon as I heard the voice of Seth Rogen from this Cyclops alien dude, I'm just like, okay, comic relief, here we go. And then I'm like, oh, okay, he's actually a really serious guy, but you know, he's like Spider-Man. He just does some wisecracks every now and again.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I as a whole, I think the show was absolutely incredible.
Yeah, and
well,
we were all like we were all like wait, shit, what's his name? From the new Star Wars trilogy, Adam Driver's character.
Poe?
No.
No. Wait, which Star Wars? The new trilogy?
Yeah. I so many people are gonna hate me for even asking this. He was like the new trilogy. Kylo Ren. Damn it! I feel stupid. Like all those dramatic pauses in our conversation, everybody's just filling up with murderous intent. Just, but yeah, we at that moment where their final conversation between Mark and Alan the Alien discussing like the Viltrumites, like they're not going down without a fight, and then it cut to the credits. We all turn into Kylo Ren. More. Yeah. Just that was the joke I was trying to do before I stupidly forgot Kylo Ren. Jesus God.
It's all right, man. It's all right. It happens.
But yeah, and Alan the Alien, even though he doesn't have a lot of screen time, he still ended up being like Mark's like Amber, one of his greatest supporters, like giving him tips and tricks, like what to do. And the fact that he mistook him for Omni-Man was kind of insulting to Omni-Man. Was like,
yeah,
like, is that a new costume? Damn, man, you really got to change your wardrobe. Like,
no, sir, I don't know what you're talking about. But...
yeah, you got to get your eye checked. Just, you need a glass, just
or something.
But yeah, and like, I look forward to the next couple of seasons, but like I said, I don't think I could bring myself to read the comic books because the pacing is so different. And even though the pacing being different might not be too bad, but it would still ruin like the flow of the show for me in a way.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. And
I think it would very much ruin the flow of the show for me.
Yeah. And like I look forward to more of a like after Robot got his body from Rex, what did he go by again? Was it Philip? Rudy.
I think.
Yeah,
Rudy, right?
Yeah, because it's Rudy. It's short for Rudolph.
Yeah.
But yeah, and Robot turned into Rudy. I look forward to seeing more of Rudy because that was actually a very interesting character switch.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah,
and I definitely see Rexplode. It's such a cringy name, but I definitely see Rex having further conflict with Rudy, like further in the series.
Yeah, I think so too. Especially when he was like,
you stole my
you
body.
Look like me.
Like, just oh my God. And I kind of feel bad for saying this, but I kind of want Mark and Amber to like break up, but like be on good terms, with it, because like we said earlier, she's a normal human. She can't get in these fights, but
but I think then that becomes a How I Met Your Mother situation.
it kind of
Where
does.
like you're friends and you're like, well, we, like we're dating, but we're not, and then it becomes like this weird thing with because that he's probably gonna end up with Eve, and then it's like, well, how is that dynamic gonna work? And I feel like the show is really good at portraying it in this fictional world, but kind of tying it in with what real life would really be like.
Yeah,
And I think it would be awkward if it was, like that kind of stuff.
it would be awkward. It would be traumatizing. More often than not, traumatizing. But jeez, did they? Jeez, did they do a good job tackling the reality or like the realism that would be implied in these situations? Because like I said earlier, like we were talking, not a lot of past like comic book based TV shows and movies talk about these type of situations, the way they affect you psychologically, mentally, and especially if you're like the blood son of a superpowered alien Superman clone. Because like I don't know if they. I haven't read too far into DC Comics because I remember Superman had a son that had superpowers, and they brought that back in Superman Returns, and
oh yeah,
yeah, and they also have Superboy, who's like the
clone of Superman.
the clone of Superman, Connor Kent, but
yeah,
and they have that aspect because he's also half human, half Kryptonian.
He's half Lex, half Superman.
Yeah, I thought that was awkward.
He's their love child.
Yeah, but yeah, like I said, they don't really tackle too much like the psychological stuff. And I like to think that Young Justice was like one of the first
that was such a great show.
It really was. And that was like one of the first that tackled like psychological and emotional trauma that comes with superhero life, especially on the youth, the younger generation of superheroes, the next gen of, the world's protectors, whatever this group of heroes is that protects the earth.
I loved that show. I don't even want to talk about it.
Oh man.
I haven't watched the third season because I refuse to watch it.
I mean, they ended DC Universe, so there's probably no way to watch it anyway.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, I read that they took it away because I don't know if it was like a funding issue or if it was like bad allegations, but
it's probably because they can't keep up. They can't keep up.
They can't.
Like
they had Harley Quinn, they had all the other DC animated shows like Teen Titans and stuff.
Right.
But yeah, like but yeah, back to Invincible. Like Invincible kind of was reminiscent of Young Justice in that way. Like the way they like obviously they have more gore and trauma and psychological analysis, but it was very reminiscent of Young Justice in that sense, tackling the realism of young superheroes.
Yeah, because I think Young Justice was one of my favorites because I mean we can do another show about that one.
Yeah,
but you're right. It tackled in Young Justice. They were like, we're not sidekicks. We can be superheroes. And then they were like, okay. Batman was like, okay, well then let's see. And he gives them missions, and they barely succeeded. Like they came out, but very wounded. Much so, like Mark did.
Yeah,
Mark came out very wounded. I mean, I was like, he's gonna kill his son. He's just gonna kill him. He doesn't even care. And then I kept thinking to myself, I was like, is this gonna be like a shonen thing where like the main character is not gonna die and he's gonna get like some kind of new superpower and beat up his dad? No, they did not. They were just like, nope.
Like there was plot armor, but it was like very, very minimal. Like he was near death so many times.
I don't really know that there was any plot armor. They did not care. They were just like, we're gonna give you the beating of a lifetime. Oh well, I guess when he said, "I still have you, Dad."
Yeah,
I think that was like.
Even in that, I wouldn't really call that plot armor. If anything, that was definitely like a forced turning point, but like a good forced turning point, in a way.
Yeah. I guess you're right.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Because, like, it's amazing with just that one sentence how he completely flipped Omni-Man's attitude. Like, he was literally about to pound his son to mincemeat, and
Yeah.
with just a few words, he was like, he went through, like, a mental phase, like, what am I doing? What are these feelings? And then he just, like any like any super aggravated person, and they don't know how to deal with the feelings that they don't understand, they run away.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what makes Omni-Man human.
Yeah. No, you're 1,000% right.
Running away from something that they don't understand instead of dealing with a problem. That's what makes Omni-Man human.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, the show's a hit. Like, I don't care what anybody says. Like, they didn't miss.
They got approved for seasons 2 and 3, and that was just after 2 days of release of episode 8.
Yeah, like it's gonna take off. I mean, it's already taken off, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
But I think I watched it like just on a whim. One of my TikTok followers was like, "You should watch Invincible," and I was like, "Okay, I'll watch it."
Yeah, one of my friends at work, who's like part of the older generation of anime fans, and he and I always talk at work like about anime, comic books, and stuff. And he recommended Invincible to me, and he said, if you like The Boys, you're definitely gonna like this show because
that's what I keep telling everybody too.
Yeah, and because like The Boys is live action, and you can only do so much with live action and CGI, but animation is basically limitless.
Yeah,
because what they did with Invincible, this is definitely a benchmark as far as comic book shows.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just when we thought the DC animated universe was the peak of animated comic book adaptations, here comes Amazon with Robert Kirkman and Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg's genius screenwriting. Just holy, to say the least. Just holy shit.
Yeah, they just did so well.
They had no business leaving us on a hook like that. Like, no. I want more now. Don't make me wait. Don't pull an Attack on Titan and make me wait years for more seasons. It's just so
I don't know. I'm super excited to see what they're going to do because they can take. I mean, again, obviously, people know what's going to happen because it's based on comic books, but they can take it in any direction.
Yeah,
you know?
and the thing is, like, I understand like changing the pace of the story in terms of adaptation because it's I keep stuttering. Damn it! That's how good the show is. I'm lost for words, but now I'm not because the reason they changed the pace is to give it a better story flow to those who are not, who aren't aware of the comic book. Because think of the number of customers Amazon has and the number of Amazon Prime members that come with that. That's part of why they went with the change of pace, because they want to leave you wanting more, but they don't want to leave you with something that feels too incomplete. Mm-hmm. If it feels too incomplete, people are going to be like, this isn't even worth the watch.
They really did just leave you on a massive cliffhanger.
Yeah. And plus Robert Kirkman was behind the whole thing, so at the very
obviously it was him all along.
Yeah, so at the very least you could trust that the story was going to be genuine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't I catch myself saying that they leave you on a cliffhanger, but it's not really a cliffhanger. It's more of like an open ending. Yeah. And I think they did a good job because God forbid they wouldn't have gotten renewed, right?
Yeah.
What then? And they left it like on a perfect thing. Obviously, they would have there would have been a petition. People would have been up in arms about it because it's very good. I mean, I can't
start a GoFundMe. Like tell me they wouldn't have
pay.
Tell me they would not. Tell me they would not. I dare somebody to tell me they would not start a GoFundMe if if Invincible got canceled after the end of episode 8. You expect to cancel that?
It's one of those things. It's like the Woody thing. It's like, all right, play the next episode. Nope, that's it. You're like, wait, what? What do you mean?
I want more.
I want more. Give more now.
Like, they would storm Jeff Bezos' house the way they said they were going to storm Area 51. Like,
Yeah, pretty much.
there would be angry mobs. There would be riots. They would summon a portal to Mars. It would not be good for Amazon if they canceled Invincible right there. But like we said earlier, it's been renewed for seasons 2 and 3. So that's if that doesn't tell you that you ought to at least give this show a fair chance, I don't know what does.
Like, it would make no sense for them to not do it. Like, why? It would be really stupid on their part.
But yeah, and like we were saying, if you love, like, if you are a nerd like us, if you're a nerd like us, you love comic books, comic book shows, anime. If you love My Hero Academia or Young Justice, you're definitely gonna fall in love with this show.
Yeah, this is the show for you, no question.
And back to what we were talking about animation. Like, before we close this out, I really want to talk about the animation, because. Like,
if you go to the scene that I'm thinking of, I'm 1000% with you.
I have, like, my top 3 scenes as far as animation. Like, there was the end of episode 1, the fight with the aliens on episodes 3 and 4 and 5, and then there was episode 8, the entirety of episode 8.
There was one scene from episode 8 for me that I was just like,
let me guess, the train scene.
Oh my god, the train!
That was something out of a Mortal Kombat fatality. Like,
that was insane. And you know what's crazy is the dad was just like, "Listen, this is happening." Like, he didn't even care. He was just like, "I'm like, your trauma therapy. I don't give a crap. This is going to, if this isn't going to help you." Like, I don't know what's going to.
Like, that was like Fire Marshal Bill from In Living Color. Like, let me show you something. Just
like that's what it was. And he was just like, he just didn't care.
He gave little to no shits. Like, he was literally beating sense into Mark, and Mark, being as human as he was a human first before a Viltrumite. And that
Can you imagine
that was like his most unshakable character trait, and that's what I love. Like, his loyalty to his home.
That was just wow. Like, I couldn't even fathom that. I just kept thinking to myself, are you serious?
I know, you're gonna go through all of this in hopes that your dad will stop, like, and then only to be reminded that Omni-Man is literally one of the most stubborn bastards in that universe.
Yeah.
Like, we've seen all the flashbacks. We've seen the way he talks to his wife when he's stressed. He's obviously a very stern person. Like, alien, human, whatever. He's stubborn. He's fixed. No way are you going to change his mind. But then in that, like we talked about earlier, in that final fight on the side of the mountain where he ran away from what he didn't understand, like, you know he's going to be at war with himself in the upcoming episodes.
I think what might happen is he might be on the run from the Viltrumites.
Yeah, because, like,
he might actually be on the run from them.
He's just living in solitude right now, trying to figure out what the hell to do with himself. Because like we saw that tear. We saw that one little tear floating in space as he flew away.
Johnny Depp tear?
Yes. That one little tear had so much significance. And people are underestimating it. Like, obviously it's a small amount of people underestimating the significance of the tear, but it's so powerful. Like, because what other time in this series did we see Omni-Man cry? None whatsoever.
And I think that's the point, because he's supposed to be this, like, badass, I don't give a crap about anybody, and then I'm beating the shit out of my son, and as he says, I'll have you dead. He has a side of him that, like, nobody would know.
Yeah.
You know, nobody should know, because he's not supposed to be like that.
He brought out his warm side, and think of it. This, like, from beginning and end, he brutally killed all the people that he fought alongside for decades. And, you know, he had a wife, he had a kid with that wife, and he called her a pet. And there was that scene in the cornfield with all the jets and all the weapons. Look what they need to mimic a fraction of our power. Like, and using his son, he literally used his son's body as a weapon against a bunch of innocent people.
Mm-hmm.
Like the carnage that he brought about, and then looking at the blood on his hands. That was a callback to Mark looking at the blood on his hands during that fight with the aliens. Because, like we said, that psychological trauma was what made Mark human, and then seeing that on Omni-Man, Nolan, that brought out his humanity.
There's like, it's one of those shows where you think that there's like you think that it's in your face, and they throw it in your face, and everything's in your face. But even though it's right there, there's like those little subtle kind of things.
Yeah,
that, like,
there's like the breadcrumb trails of all the like.
I like that.
Like
the breadcrumb.
Yeah, the breadcrumb trails of all the psychological, emotional subplots that occur within this series, and they are brilliantly conveyed, especially with Adam Eve's part where she runs off into the forest, and the fact that she built her own treehouse.
That's amazing.
I could not have been more jealous of the
wish
superpower. I would
I had
love
that.
to be able to do that. Like, I need that power. I need it now because I'm flying my entire family to fucking Fiji.
Somewhere.
Yeah, like either Fiji or India, or hell, I would love to go to the Galapagos Islands. I've been wanting to go. I've been wanting to go there for a long time. But yeah, the fact that was actually really good for her character arc, because that, in a way, kind of reflects what I think Omni-Man is doing. You know, living in isolation, figuring himself out after dealing with all this emotional turmoil and trauma. I mean, it might not have been like a tragic cheat on me breakup with duplicates, but
but still at the same time,
even then, it's like the same. It's the same concept, you know, in an emotionally shocking event that leaves you asking yourself, "What the hell do I do with myself now?"
Yep.
Yeah, there's so much, like the amount. Like, if there was a bar for the amount of what now in that show, like, it would have been broken by the first episode, obviously. But, Jesus. Like,
yeah. The first episode, I think, did it for everybody.
Like, I started watching it when it was, like, 4 episodes in, and I'm like, y'all are criminally insane to watch this shit week by week. Like...
I watched it week by week.
But then
I didn't.
Yeah, but then again, if they had released it all in one sitting, that would have been even worse. Because then people would have just been like, you know, blowing away 8 hours in a single day, or, you know, in 2 days, and then an even greater gap of waiting for more of this amazing show. Like, at least this way, the gap is reduced, but it's still there, leaving us with so many questions. And this is just like what we talked about with Attack on Titan. The hype can only be contained for so long. The hype could not be more real after the end of the series, especially with Alan the alien being like, "What's high school?" And then cut to credits.
It was beautifully done.
It was.
So I can't complain about it at all.
Like, the only thing I can complain about is the amount of carnage. Like, they had no business bringing that much bloodshed. Like, we came here to watch superheroes fight villains. Like, I didn't come here for a Mortal Kombat clone. Like, Jesus Christ. But this is Robert Kirkman, so...
Oh yeah, to a T.
Yes. This is 100% Kirkman. Like I don't even want to say at his peak, because that man is literally a genius with the stuff that he and his friends come up with. And it only goes up from here.
Robert Kirkman is a genius.
I feel like if he heard that, he would have that set as his ringtone.
I didn't think you caught that. I do. I think I agree with you 100%. Robert Kirkman is a genius. He's very smart, and he knows what he's doing. He knows how to grip people and how to keep them there all the time.
Like, At this point, he might as well just start his own comic book company like Stan Lee and them did.
Yeah, like there's really no reason for him not to.
There really isn't. I mean, granted, it would probably be the most child unfriendly comic book franchise.
Oh yeah, no
in
question.
history.
No question. It would be the worst.
It would be horrifying. But yeah, but without a doubt, I definitely look forward to the upcoming seasons of Invincible. And like we said, if what we just talked about, as well as the fact that it got renewed for seasons 2 and 3, isn't a clue that you should give the show a fair chance, then I don't know what is.
Yeah. Like please do yourselves a favor and watch the show. Like,
but
if you're into like My Hero meets Young Justice plus like Walking Dead kind of
and Mortal Kombat.
Yes. all in that order.
It's like the forbidden love child of this nerd culture orgy. Just But
no, you're not wrong.
I am not wrong. Like that's actually a pretty vivid way of putting it. But yeah, this has been Nerdy Urges with Johnny Wolf and Spanish J. We look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Go watch Invincible on Amazon Prime. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great night.
Peace.